Welcome to another edition of Hey Bobby with Senior VP of the Cleveland Guardians, Bob DiBiasio, with us here on 93.5, 1590 WAKR, WAKR.net, Facebook page, YouTube channel. We got it all there for you. Bobby, you and I talked before the season about the additions of reimagining the ballpark. I had a chance to go up to a couple of those last weekend when I was up at the game. Thoroughly impressed with the Terrace Hall, the Blue Moon Terrace Garden. I know the Paul Davis District out in the right field. I've been out there for group outings. And then, of course, the North Coast Social, which is something I haven't had a chance to be there, but all the advertising that I see during the games looks something else. Your architecture people and whoever came up with these ideas really did a nice job.
Yeah, our marketing folks and the ballpark operations people in concert with um, our architects really over the course maybe of the last 8 years um, doing progressive field reimagined, the center
Yeah.
field area and the way we redid the family deck and we created the corner bar and then put the drink rails in left field as well. Um, it's been a real fun opportunity for us to, again, we're what, the eighth or 10th oldest ballpark in Major League Baseball. So, um, and we've been around now for more than 30 years. So, making sure that we're taking care of our fans for the next 30 years, we really have put together what we think is a tremendously fun environment at the ballpark. And it starts with social gathering spots. Back when we decided to create the corner bar concept, we asked the architects, what are you building across the world in soccer stadiums, basketball arenas, football stadiums, ballparks around America and the world and Japan. What is it that is the newest craze? And this was 8, 10 years ago, and that's when the social gathering spot, because the younger people just don't want to sit in the seat and talk to the person to their right and the person to their left and enjoy the game. There are people who obviously love that. That's mostly our generation and others. There are young people who like sitting in seats and enjoying the game that way. But there's a lot that come just to be with the group and hang out and meet people. Um, so we created the newer social gathering spot. It's been a 3-year project. The upper deck right field, the Paul Davis Pennant District is our group outing area, which is just off the charts. Upper deck left field. The Blue Moon Terrace Garden is in the upper deck left field. Right below that is the Terrace Hall. And below that is the Key Bank North Coast Social, which is a wristband only kind of location, a little bit more high end where you get all your beer and wine and the buffet and the chef's cooking and things of that nature. So, but I know you visited the Terrace Garden and the Terrace Hall and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and we went up top, and then we went to the terrace. And I got to tell you, too, we went to the rail, and my friend and I, Scott, we watched about a half inning, an inning or so up there. It's a great seat. I mean, we saw the whole ball game. It's right there in front of you, and you're exactly right. Now, again, I am of the generation that I prefer to sit in my seat and I watch the game within the game and the pitch. I'm kind of one of those guys. But I told you that in viewing everybody up there they were having a great time, laughs and chuckling, getting a couple of drinks for their ladies, their friends. It was a really good gathering place, both on the terrace and in the Blue Moon area. And that's why I said to you it was fabulously done. And I thought the right field since day one, when you look, even on a day, might be windy and cold a little bit, there's a bunch of people out at the right field corner bar gathering because, like you said, they're meeting their friends there for the game.
Yeah, it's really been a wonderful transformation with the focus being the next 30 years of fans
Yeah.
truly enjoying what we're all about. You just don't keep score anymore. You like sitting in the seats, but you just don't keep score anymore.
I
Uh,
used to keep score for many, many
I
years. Now
know.
I just let your scoreboard do it for me.
Exactly. But yeah, it really I couldn't be more proud of the people that work for us that were in charge of that project. It's got one more off season, to turn the remaining green seats into the blue seats, and when that's concluded, then we'll sit back and let the ballpark breathe a little bit and maybe do some things inside the ballpark. We hope down the road to get a museum built. For our rich tradition of this franchise. So that might be next on the docket. We'll see.
The other thing that I really like, and this is kind of off those locations, but I think it is, again, answering the needs of the current fan, and that's the grab and go. Because now, people want to get their stuff and get back to their buddies, get back to the conversation. They don't want to stand in a concession line for a long period of time. I think the grab and go. I know I like it. I see a lot of people grabbing their drink, grabbing their chips, grabbing their whatever, and they're getting back to their seat. And I'm seeing those kind of all over the ballpark right now.
Well, it's an interesting aspect. Not only was it a philosophy of Delaware North, our food and beverage partner, it has become such an important aspect with the pitch clock and the game's going
Oh,
quicker,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Although we've learned that a lot of people come a half hour earlier um,
Mm-hmm.
because they want to take in things and sit and walk and grab something to eat, and they don't want to miss a lot of the action. Although we're one of the ballparks, I have to admit that did it right from the beginning in 1995. You're in the concourses. Um, and getting something, you've got the TV monitors everywhere to keep you abreast. And also the way we opened up the main concourse from the right center field area all the way to left field foul pole and the home run porch, that you can still see the game while you're grabbing something to eat or drink. And
Mm-hmm.
we've talked about it, I don't know how many times, Ray. The game of baseball is built on food and beverage, more so than football, basketball, kind of entertainment that when you walk into a ballpark, it's one of those, okay, what am I going to eat today?
Yeah, that's what I do. Senior VP with the Guardians, Bob DiBiasio with us. Bob, the other aspect I wanted to talk about today, because you and I talked about Jose Ramirez last week, other member of our team going to the All-Star game is Stephen Kwan. And I don't want to say quietly, but he has certainly asserted himself as the one of the best left fielders in the American League, gets on base, steals bases, comes up with clutch hits and makes routine plays in left, but he also makes the difficult plays in left. And you've seen this kid since the spring training when Tito caught your eye and said, "Hey, I like this kid." And here we are a few years later. Now he's a two-time All-Star.
Yeah, a two-time All-Star, three-time Gold Glover. Just a terrific young man, hardworking, tremendous teammate. Came out of Oregon State where they won a College World Series. So played at big time Division One. He's a California kid, 27 years old. He'll be 28 in September. I don't know if people realize, Ray, the track that Stephen Kwan had getting to the big leagues. He sort of came out of nowhere in one sense when he was our starting left fielder in 2022. He wasn't one of those guys that you heard about as much as you do the Chase DeLauters and
Right,
people of that
right.
nature. But think about it, that he was a fifth round draft pick in 2018. And so he plays maybe 30 games, 40 games for us in 2018, Mahoning Valley. And after a long Division I season because he went to the College World Series, he didn't play a whole lot of professional baseball in the year that he was drafted. So then in 2019, he goes to Class A Lynchburg, and he right from the get-go plays 123 games. Um, and then 2020, he doesn't play. COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So he was part of that group that did not play
Yeah.
baseball.
We forget about
He
that.
he
Yeah.
missed a season
Hmm.
in 2020, and you wondered what kind of, um, what would that do to his growth and development as a baseball player? Then all of a sudden in 2021, when things got back to a little bit back to normal in professional baseball. He played both at Akron and Columbus, and then next thing you know, in 2022, he's the starting left fielder. Wins a Gold Glove and spent the entire year obviously with us, and then in 23, 24, back-to-back All-Star selections. So. Um, I just wanted to make sure, when you identified Stephen as one of our topics, I just felt it was important that people know, his track. He was one of those kids, the 2020 kids that got affected,
Hmm.
and um, was able to come out on the right end, obviously, of missing a whole year of growth and development in the minor leagues.
So much in today's baseball world, right, Bobby? It's analytics, and you want to get your best hitters as many at bats as you can. So that's kind of dissolved the old leadoff guy. You and I grew up with the Lou Brocks and those guys,
Kenny
Kenny
Lofton.
Lofton back in the '90s, and we could go on with those guys. There's not many of those guys left now. I see guys like Goldschmidt leading off
Right.
for the Yankees and that type of thing to make sure they
Schwarber.
get Schwarber leading off. But Kwan is, and I hate to use the word throwback, but Kwan is a leadoff guy. He gets on base, he pesters the pitchers, he takes the extra base, and I think he really makes our offense go when it's going.
Yeah, there's no question. You got to get the top of the order. Baseball, it's such a unique sport, right? It's truly, truly an individual game
Hmm.
played in a team concept for team success. When a ball comes at you, it's only you to catch it and do the right thing with it. When you're standing in the batter's box, it's only you. When you're on the mound, it's only you. And so much of it is the individual skills and the discipline and all the things necessary to become the best you can be, but you play it in a team concept for a team success. And so therefore you need the bottom of the order to do a little damage for you. You need the middle of the order to do big damage for you, and you need the top of the order to get on base, create havoc, um, make the pitcher pitch out of the stretch a little more often, things of that nature. And Stephen Kwan, when he's rolling, that gives our guys more RBI opportunities and um, yeah, he's just so fun to watch. Um, and the other thing, just I know we probably have to go, but just the people need to understand what a wonderful young man this guy is. Um, the chess aspect, the playing of the game chess, it's just so fun to see how he was willing to spread that when one of our um, people in the player relations and media relations group, saw him playing chess in the clubhouse prior to the 2022 season, not even knowing if he was going to make the team. But there he is playing chess with other players and coaches in the morning, and all of a sudden it turns into this wonderful relationship with John Marshall High School, who's got a nationally renowned chess club. And that's been fun to watch, bringing those young kids, um, put them up on the warning track, and if we have 2 more seconds, one of the funniest stories, the first year we did it, the John Marshall Chess Club up in the warning track in front of the dugout behind home plate. There's like 4 or 5 tables set up, and Austin Hedges and Kwan and a few other players are battling a chess match with these kids who are ninth grade, 10th grade. And there's this little girl, couldn't be more than 4 feet, 8 inches tall, ninth grade little girl, sits down with Austin Hedges, and within like 5 minutes or less, she checkmate. So we had the media there, just to a few cameras there. So one of the reporters went up to the little girl and said, "Boy, that was pretty quick. When did you think you had him?" In that high squeaky voice, she says, "When he sat down." And Austin Hedges was like, "Hey, what the heck?" But it's
I
so
love that.
Steven's yeah, he's created that, um, what I think is just a terrific community engagement throughout John Marshall and other uh, high schools that we've brought down through the game of chess. He's a special kid.
Before I let you go, for those taking this show in on the video, you have what is going to be happening Friday night at Canal Park. You have the cheese salads. The rubber ducks become the cheese salads with Luigi's as the sponsor, a place that you and I frequent. But
Yep.
I love the hat. They're going to be in full uniform. Love the idea of adopting the cheese salads, Bobby.
My buddy Marco at the Rubber Ducks sent me this hat. So um, I really appreciate it. It was very kind to him. So the next time you and I are headed to Luigi's, I'm going to be donning this cap, see if I can get a free cheesy salad out of
Instead of just a delay guy.
it. Yeah, exactly.
All right, Bobby. Thanks as always for making the time and the visit. We'll do it again next week. Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you, Ray. Always fun. Take care. Go Guardians.